Hey everyone, Moxie here. Welcome back, depending on whether or not this is your first video. Today's video is just a quick little rant about how minimalism has helped my mental state. Historically, I suffer from severe anxiety and depression. I'm not afraid to admit that, but through many years and much effort on my part, I am happy to say that I'm doing better than I once was. And one of the contributing factors to this has actually been utilizing minimalism in my life. It might sound stupid or silly to someone on the outside, but it's true. And I don't think people talk about it enough when discussing either minimalism or mental health, how those two kind of correlate and interact with one another. Like, whenever someone talks about minimalism and the minimalist life, they'll talk about how easy things are, how great things are, how easy it is to clean and have a simple life, and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, all of that is true, but I think it barely scratches the surface of what minimalism can do for a person. And for some people, all of those things are actually unimportant for what minimalism can do for you. Like, for some people, like, having an improved mental state is much more important than like how great and improved your life can be through minimalism. Now, minimalism, by improving your mental state, will make your life great, but there's not enough discussion to me about how that can happen. Or it's kind of like ignoring that step, right? It's like skipping over the step of, oh, your life will be better because your mental state will be improved because of minimalism. There's not really a lot of discussion in that corner, or at least from everything that I have seen. And I think part of the issue is that people create this idea of what they think minimalism is, and it's generally wrong unless you think that minimalism means something different for each person, which is what it is. It's not like a set defined thing. I mean, I'm sure if you look in the dictionary, there is a set defined thing of what minimalism is, but it is a different thing for each person when they utilize it in their life. So, like, for some people, minimalism is how they live their life. They eat a minimal diet, just a few items, a few simple meals, just a few friends, one or two hobbies, very few belongings. For other people, minimalism is their aesthetic. They dress simply, they have bare white walls, they use a 15-in-1 shampoo, conditioner, body wash, toothpaste, shaving cream combination to simplify their bathroom routine. And for some people, it's a combination of these things. Honestly, that isn't the case for me. None of those things are really, like, accurate to describe what my minimalist life looks like. I'm a minimalist because I consider myself to be one, but I have art on my walls. I have little plastic things sitting on shelves. I have costumes, crafting supplies. I own more than 2 forks. For me, the important thing is that everything I own brings value to my life. The artwork on the wall makes me smile every single day. And once it doesn't, it either goes or it gets replaced. And the little plastic things on my shelves, they also make me smile every single day whenever I see them. I am just surrounded by beautiful things and fun things, and they all bring value to my life. And my hobbies bring value to my life. And I'm not going to cut out certain things or get rid of certain things because they make me happy just for this, like, arbitrary, like, definition of what other people believe minimalism is. I'm not going to get rid of one of my 15 pieces of fan art because another minimalist dictates that you should have one at the most. They all make me happy, and I like them all, and they all bring value to my life, so I will be keeping all of them. And it's the same with my hobbies. It is a little frustrating for me personally that my hobbies do require so much equipment. It is a little overwhelming. I'm not going to lie, sometimes having all of this stuff that I need to be able to do my hobbies, but it's a fair exchange. The value and the joy and the happiness and the fun that I have through my hobbies is definitely it definitely outweighs, like, the strain of having so many tools. And also, I don't have anything in excess, at least not anymore. I used to until 2018. A lot happened in my life in 2018, but the 2 major catalysts for me for becoming a minimalist happened that year. And one of them was just watching someone I know get rid of all of their worldly possessions except what would fit into a backpack that they could carry, and then a small box that they could leave with someone. and also a vacation where I made a triumphant return to Japan after so many years away. It was too many years away. And we were there for 2 weeks, and all I took was a carry-on and a personal item, and I was really happy during our vacation because I was in Japan. But I also realized I didn't need a lot to be happy. I needed experiences and mental stimulation, not things. And I know some people come to that realization a lot sooner or through something a lot less dramatic than making a triumphant return to a country that they adore, but that's what it was for me. So that's what it is. So yeah, when we got back from Japan, I really reflected on my experience there and what it was like living out of a carry-on and a personal item for 2 weeks. And I reflected on, thinking about the person who got rid of most of their worldly belongings, and I wondered how getting rid of things would make me feel, and I realized that it would make me feel free. Now, I could never be as dramatic as getting rid of everything except what would fit in a small box in a backpack, but I knew that after my trip to Japan that I didn't really need a whole lot to feel happy. So I set to work. And my partner and I were both in agreement on this, and we both worked together on this, and we got rid of so much stuff. Like, I still can't believe how much we got rid of. I can't even verbalize. It feels like we got rid of a house full of stuff, but of course we have a house full of stuff, right? So obviously that's not the case, but it just blew my mind. Like, each trip to the thrift store or each time we had a donation pickup, I was just astounded by the sheer amount of things that were being physically removed from the house. And each time I asked myself, where did all of it go? Where did all of this stuff come from? And it was so nice getting it out of the house. But yeah, where did it all go? How did I keep track of all of that stuff? But yeah, and then too, with each trip and each pickup, I just felt like my brain getting lighter. The mental load of having to keep track of so much stuff was leaving me, and the burden of cleaning everything was also lessened. Oh yeah, it was great. And, it took us 4 years to really get to a point that I was happy with our progress. And yeah, that's very, very slow. I know a lot of people get there a lot faster. I think where I was at 4 years later, most people accomplish in well under 6 months. And some people, when they talk about their minimalist journey, they talk about, oh, it's so shameful, but it took me a year, or, oh, it's so embarrassing, but it took me 8 months, and here I am, years and years later, getting to where they were at. And you kind of have to go at your own pace. You don't feel bad if you're not doing things as fast as someone else. And I also think that part of it too is that those folks who can go a lot faster don't have the mental health problems that I do. They don't have the complete exhaustion that comes with depression or the paralysis that comes with anxiety. And, maybe they do, and if they do, and they got all of that accomplished in that short amount of time, then they're a lot stronger than me, and that is great for them, but I had to go at my own pace. And the point isn't how long it takes. It's that, I got there, and I went at my own pace, and I didn't overwhelm myself because I was kind to myself through this process. I never felt resentment toward the process because I went at my own pace. And I do think that that's really important, to make sure you're not pushing yourself to the point that you feel resentment or pressure to accomplish things in a certain amount of time. Just do it. You'll get there. It took me 4 years, but I got there. And throughout the whole journey, I felt the relief each time, and I feel very free now, and I know I'm never going back to that. And I think that's also important to keep in mind, is that if you go at your own pace, you won't return to what you had or were before, because you're not you're not pushing yourself too much and making it too hard on yourself. And I haven't replaced any of the stuff that I got rid of, partly because I went at my own pace, and I got rid of things slow enough that I didn't get rid of something by mistake that I needed. I miss a small handful of things that I got rid of, but out of the thousands of things that we decluttered, I regret getting rid of maybe 5, and it sucks. But it's at the end of the day, it's not a lot, and I still feel like my life is improved having all of those items out of my life, including, sadly, the ones that I do regret not having anymore. But yeah, I haven't replaced any of those either. And I don't plan to. The time for those items to be in my life is past, and I have just accepted that. Stuff happens. All right, yeah, so back to the mental health thing. Like, the mental burden was lifting off of me with each item removed from our house. And there's still things that I'd like to get rid of, and I'd love to keep decluttering and getting rid of more stuff. But right now, every single item in our house has a comfortable home. No drawers or cabinets are overflowing. Everything has breathing room. Cleaning is easy. I don't lose things. I don't need to keep track of as many things. And that mental burden, whew, so much lighter. It's very freeing. My anxiety isn't as bad for so many reasons that relate to decluttering. I don't need to stress about cleaning as much because cleaning is now simpler and it doesn't take a lot of time. Everything has a home, so I don't need to worry about it getting lost. My depression isn't as bad either. With fewer items in the house, I don't feel like I'm being like squished in on every side by things. Like, I love artworks and things on shelves, but there's a limit. The open space on the walls and the shelves brings me some relief, and it also allows me to enjoy what is there a lot better because there isn't as much, so the pieces that are there are a lot more meaningful. And with cleaning being easier, things just don't get as messy. Like, you just don't have as much to get cluttered, so it doesn't get cluttered. And it means I don't feel depressed seeing a dirty house because it doesn't really get dirty anymore. Getting cluttered, and I can't even really fully explain how good that makes me feel. And you know, when I am having a depressive episode, the house doesn't get as bad as it used to, just because there's fewer things around to make it messy. So I can kind of focus on my mental state and recover quicker and better. And when I come out of it, there isn't a house to clean. So, like, you know, kind of going back to how I said that, you know, there isn't enough discussion about how your mental health can be improved by minimalism. Like, yeah, things in my life are better. My life is better because I've utilized minimalism. My mental state is better because of that. It's not just because of the minimalism. I have done other work for myself outside of that, but you know, I cannot ignore the impact that minimalism has had. And yeah, it does directly relate to minimalism, and I just hope that I explained everything well. It's just crazy how much better I feel mentally from just owning fewer things, and then ensuring the things that I do own all provide value to my life in one way or another. So yeah, I hope that you found some kind of value in this video. Maybe it helped inspire you or kind of keep you motivated if you're feeling in a slump from your own minimalist journey to help your own mental state, or maybe it gave you some ideas on how you can help yourself with your mental state. I just really hope that this video has helped someone in the same way that minimalism has helped me in my life. So that'll do it for today's video. And, you know, I even if it didn't help you, maybe it was just helpful to hear someone else's perspective. Maybe it'll help you understand someone else in your life if you don't understand what they're going through. So yeah, thank you everyone so much for watching. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you have, you know, any experiences with doing this yourself, or if you have any ideas or suggestions on future videos for this sort of overlapping content, you know, the overlap or the intersection of minimalism and mental health, let me know, and I will see about getting that done. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care of yourself.